Come one, come all, gather around as we dive into our inner freak. Today on the menu, we are going to be talking about sensory play, my personal favorite and one of the easiest ways to dive into the kink realm. So if you're wanting to explore the depths of your pleasure, spice up your sex life, or just connect a little bit more to yourself or to your partner, then this video is definitely meant for you. And it's not just because we are exploring all of our senses, but it allows you to create passion, to play, to have fun, and dabble into your creative side. But before we start to engage all of our senses, let's talk about how you can take your sex education to the next level with BEDucate. This is a pleasure-focused sex education platform with over 100 different courses taught by the world's top sexperts. No matter your relationship status, your sexual orientation, or your gender, BED offers a safe space for all of us to learn. And I'm gifting you guys 24-hour access to the website for free, so you guys can check out any course that you want to. My personal favorite courses are the handjob mastery, blowjobs, and cunnilingus, because I mean, we can always get better at our foreplay game. And I mean, nothing spices up date night like watching different sex positions and then trying them out on each other. Sprinkle in some BJ tricks, one of them being the double-handed twist, because nothing beats your partner's eyes rolling back into their head and watching their soul leave their body. Now, since it's the holiday season, I think giving the gift of pleasure and intimacy and eroticism is definitely the best gift. And I want you guys to be able to explore, connect, and grow together. So that's why BEDucated and I have gifted you guys 50% off the whole year, 14-day money-back guarantee. So there is literally no risk. Plus, you guys get that 24-hour access into the site to test the waters for yourselves. All you have to do is click that link down below and enter the code in Pleasure Baby and gain your access in to the best sex education that has ever hit your eyes, your ears, and your fingertips. Did you know that less than 1 in 2 people are actually satisfied with their sex life? So let's make 2024 all about pleasure. Partnered pleasure, self-pleasure, enjoying the motion of intimacy. Invest in your love life and get soaked in those juicy courses. P.S. They also give gift cards. And if I were you, I'd be doing a gift card, a toy, some lingerie, some different sensory things to play with, making the perfect little gift and giving the gift of the ultimate blissful package of pleasure. So click that link down below, enter in the code Pleasure Baby, and enjoy my gift to you, 24-hour access into the site for free, or when you want to stay a little longer, 50% off the whole year. All right, babies, now let's get talking about sensory play. So when it comes to sensory play, we're either enhancing our senses or we're depriving you of your senses to heighten them. For myself, and I think some others too, when we take away certain senses or experience intense stimulation, our brain connection gets stronger, bringing in that heightened sense of awareness and dialing in. Which is funny because if you know anything about ADHD and sex, it can be really hard to maintain your focus. So this is just one of the reasons why I enjoy dabbling in sensory play, to keep my attention and to keep me focused. Plus, when we experience this type of hyperfocus, we're flooding our brains with positive chemicals like oxytocin and endorphins. And when this type of play is sexual, it can turn into deep erotic feelings. Now, the way that your sensory scene plays out totally depends on the activities you and your partner choose. However, before you dive in, just like anything else, a conversation is definitely required. And it needs to be open and hella honest. Because we need to talk about what we want to try, what they might want to try, what feels good to you, what boundaries we need to set. Everything needs to be fully negotiated so that nobody is disrespected. And of course, because we are dealing with kink, we need to have a non-sexual safe word. Honestly, I think safe words should be used all the time anyway, even if you aren't dabbling into kink. So an example for you guys is going to be red, cupcake, cherry, hell, vanilla. But this safe word lets our partner know that a boundary has been hit. So we either need to stop completely or we just need to dial it back in. Regardless, we should be checking in with our partner frequently to make sure that everybody is actually enjoying themselves and having a good time. So how exactly do we get things started? So I like to make a list of 10 things that I want to try, 10 things that I'm like absolutely no to, and 10 things I'm on the fence about. Now, a really great way to find out what you do like if you're exploring on your own is obviously through self-pleasure. Self-pleasure can be a really great tool to learn about yourself, to figure out what you do and you don't like, what you want to explore, what feels good, you know, to fine-tune the intimate tools. It's a lot easier to express to our partner what we have already explored and what we do and what we don't like. However, it can be incredibly fun to play together and figure out what we do like together. But when we don't like something, a lot of us find it a little bit more difficult to express that. That is why I say self-pleasure is a really great time to kind of weed out those things, as well as making sure that you are openly communicating with your partner. You do have that safe word and you are letting them know your boundaries. After, when you're done making those lists, exchange them. Talk about your list, see what aligns and what doesn't align, see what you're maybe willing to try versus not willing to try. And one more time, what are we gonna do? We are going to establish that safe word. One thing I do think that is really important to add is that we do not yuck somebody else's yum. This is a judgment-free space. We are not here to shame or judge our partner, because that can do some serious damage and make them shut down long-term and not feel safe enough to express to you in the future. So now that we understand that kinks need to be fully negotiated so that everybody has their desires and their boundaries respected, because we are just trying to have a good damn time here. Now the fun part gets to happen and we get to engage our senses with some of these tools. So here we might want to play with a little bit of touch, smell, sound, taste, vision. And if this sounds pretty expansive, it's because it really is. Because we are deliberately engaging with the senses to explore our pleasure. Now, a lot of the time when people think of pleasure, they also think of pain. But this type of play doesn't actually have to involve any pain at all. But pain play can intersect. For instance, a paddle or a spank would be a form of sensory play that involves a little bit of pain play too. But if you were using something soft like silks, that involves zero pain play at all. But let's give you some examples of the tools that you might use. So we'll start with something a little bit less intense or a little bit less aggressive. So we're gonna talk about silky or soft. Some examples of this would be using fur, satin, fake furs, feathers, sharp and scratchy, wool for that itchy texture, hairbrush bristles, maybe something a little bit sharper like skewers, something pinchy, nipple clamps, clothespins, vibrations, obviously a vibrator, percussions, flogger, wooden spoon, paddles, temperature, hot stones, candles, ice, sensory deprivation, we got the blindfold, we have gag, maybe a pair of panties for something less intense, or a tie or a cloth, maybe some earplugs, pressure, a weighted blanket, some body weight, some medical wraps, igniting our smells with lavender, rosemary, roses, bondage, a little bit of leather cuffs or silk cuffs or furry cuffs, erotica for our ears, maybe it's listening to the big book of submission, music, or perhaps adult entertainment. As you guys can see, there are endless amounts of tools that you guys can use and play and try with on each other. That is exactly why this is one of my favorites, is because it is so expansive and allows so much room for creativity and so many things to explore. The main takeaway here is that we want to stay curious. We want to have fun, we want to explore. Remember that sex can be messy, funny, smelly. Just try to lean into those emotions and allow them to just settle. You are here with somebody that you hopefully trust, because you are being vulnerable and you are connecting on a deeper level. So lean into the emotions that it brings and enjoy it. You are here for pleasure. All right, babies, I hope you really enjoyed this video. Don't forget to click the link down below and check out BEDucate. All right, babies, I will see you next week for another video. Cheers.